and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I'm really excited to make this. You're coming along with me for my very first time making a Dual Lye shaving soap. And Dual Lye means when I normally make cold processed soap, you use sodium hydroxide. Well, to make a Dual Lye, you use potassium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. So I have my potassium hydroxide here. I got this from Essential Depot. They have very good price on lye. Both kinds of lye. And I had to write this in here in bold so I never made the mistake of using this. Potassium hydroxide does saponify your oils, but it makes a soft soap. If you're doing liquid soaps and things, potassium hydroxide is the lye that you'll want to use. So anyway, a Dual Lye shaving soap has a couple of really neat benefits, and one is it's a little bit softer so that you get a much denser sort of shave cream. You know, if you've ever done a shave cream out of a spray can, that really dense foam, you can really get that kind of a lather with a Dual Lye combination soap. And the other reason is that I want a softer soap is that I'm going to be doing it in, I got these little, aren't these adorable? These stainless steel shave cups. So that is how, I'm not going to mold them. I'm going to put the liquid soap before it firms up into these soaps, and this will be how I will market the soap. So I'll do my Dual Lye shave soap in here, and then you'll just do your shave brush. If you're a wet shave aficionado, you have a good shave brush, probably with badger bristles or boar bristles, and you build up your lather and shave. For women, it's great for legs and any areas you want to shave. A good shaving soap is wonderful. So anyway, I will be pouring each individual cup and let it you want to go through a full cure like you do with a regular cold process. So I'll pour it in here, and these will sit for 6 weeks before they are marketable. But anyway, I just thought these cups were adorable. I was so glad I found them. So let's back up here to the fragrance. I am going to use sandalwood incense from Be Scented. And I didn't see any reviews on it. I have no idea how this performs in soap, but this is the way that I make this soap is almost, or the way that I've seen this made, you're coming along with me for the first time. It's almost like a hot process method, and you have to be really careful because it can volcano. So this is going to be exciting. I'm kind of a glutton for punishment that I'm doing it first time on camera. Anyway, so I thought this would be a good time to try this fragrance out because I didn't see reviews on how it performed in cold process. But since this is a sort of hot process type method, you're not as, if it speeds up trace, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, it's got a little bit of vanillin, 1.5% vanillin, but if this turns like a beigey creamy color, that's fine. I think that's very masculine. This is, I would consider this a unisex scent with a masculine overtone because it's definitely not sweet. It's not at all floral or cloying, so it's very woodsy. Earthy. I think it's beautiful. If you're a and it's not dominantly sandalwood, it's very complex, like sandalwood incense. So anyway, that's the fragrance that I'm using in this today, and I will be sharing the full recipe that I'm trying out down in the description box. So watch me make it, see if this is a go, and then you can try it. Let's do this together. I'm going to get everything pulled together, and yeah, let's make some Dual Lye shave soap. Okay, so the first step today is getting the Dual Lyes measured. I have my water here. This is 18 ounces of distilled water, and I'm going to dice up a little of my tussa silk fibers. I want to add silk to this shave soap just because I absolutely love how silk aids in a lather. The feel that it gives, it doesn't aid a lather, that's wrong. It gives the lather a silky feel. This, you can't measure this. It is so light, I can't tell you how much that weighs, but I'm using, it's probably about a third to a quarter of a cotton ball size, if I had to describe it. So I'm gonna just snip this up on top of my water, and then that's all that's in there. And then we will measure off our lye here and get to adding that, and then I'll set it to the side and let it kind of cool while we get the oils prepped. So the first thing that we need, I have this tared out, I need, sorry, I'm looking over at my recipe, 2.2 ounces of sodium hydroxide. So that's the regular lye that I use, so 2.2 ounces. There we go, 2.2 of the sodium hydroxide, and now I need 4.6 of the potassium hydroxide. All right, there are the Dual Lye measured out here. Here is the water. We're just going to add those together like we normally do and stir this. I'm going to keep stirring it until the silk is dissolved and all of the lye crystals have dissolved completely, and I don't feel any grit. So I'm just going to, you don't have to stir it in slowly because it's not a milk product or anything, but the point is to stir until you get absolutely everything dissolved really well. And stand back. You definitely don't want to breathe those fumes even if you have a mask on. You just don't want that near your eyes or your nose. So the lye solution is off to the side cooling. It's time to measure the oils and the stearic acid, and I'll tell you the recipe as I'm doing it. Will also be printed out in percentage form in the description box. What I did was I have already come in, spritzed these out with isopropyl alcohol and cleaned them and let them dry, but I figured out what volume I wanted in here and then added that to the percentages. What am I trying to say? That's how I decided how big I wanted this recipe. So I will tell you the amounts I'm using here in the video, but the recipe down below will have percentages so you can size it to whatever you want. But I had, you know, X amount of these little cups and I wanted them so full, so that is how I calculated the recipe. So now I've got this tared out. I'm using a big stainless steel bucket because this does have potential to volcano, and I just want lots of room for it to foam if it needs to do all that, which is not bad. It just, you know, needs room to work if it does that. I've seen some people do a Dual Lye and they haven't had volcanoing issues. And I will leave a couple of links to other videos down below that I think are very inspirational. And actually, the recipe that I'm doing today was inspired by, let's see, Kapia Mera, or Kapia Mera Holly. And I will leave a link to her video. She has an excellent video. I recommend it highly. And anyway, this was inspired by her video. So I'm giving her credit for that. So what I need right now is 24 ounces of stearic acid. I have a couple different, I have this brand that I got on Amazon, and then I got more on Wholesale Supplies Plus. Same product, different suppliers, but I need 24 ounces for the volume that I'm doing today, which is a 60% stearic. All right, 24 ounces of stearic. And now I'm going to add, for my recipe, 6 ounces of coconut oil, which is 15% coconut oil. So let me grab my coconut oil. So next up, I have cocoa butter. And I get it in this wafer form, but any form of good cocoa butter. And I am going to use 2 ounces of cocoa butter in my recipe, which is 5% cocoa butter. If I can get it open. There we go. All right, so I'm going for 2 ounces here. And next up is shea butter. This is such a luxurious recipe. So shea butter, for my recipe, I'm going to do 6 ounces of shea butter, which is 15% shea. Do you say shea or shea when you say it? I go between the two. Sometimes I say shea, sometimes I say shea. I'm not sure which is exactly the right one. If you know, let me know. I should look it up. You can Google that and it will actually pronounce it for me. I know I can look it up myself. I guess I'm being lazy asking you all. After I get done filming, I'll probably go look it up myself. All right, 6 ounces of Shea or Shea. And last but not least is castor oil. And for my recipe, I'm doing 2 ounces of castor, which is 5% castor oil. So now I'm going to go get these on the burner and melt them down, and we'll come back when this is all melted and ready to proceed forward. About time to get going on this, but first I want to show you my little cup here, which has my fragrant oil, which I have looked up the usage volume. I'm using the max usage for the amount that I'm making today, and it has glycerin. I have 4 ounces of glycerin in here for this volume. You want to do 10% glycerin per oils. The volume of oils, you'll do 10% glycerin. So that's what's in this little cup, and we won't add this until after we get cooking. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm using this vegetable glycerin from Soaper's Choice. It's great, and so that's what it is. It's just glycerin. All that being said, let's take the temperature. I had to actually put this up. My lye solution cooled down way faster than my oils heated up. So right now my oils are at 158 and my lye is at 137. So they're kind of close. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I hope I'm not making a fatal mistake, but you know, there's only one way to find out. Let's just do it. I'm going to go ahead and pull my my big massive spatula. I don't know why I grabbed one with the long handle here. I guess I was anticipating something. I don't know. I'm going to pull that out. I have a bucket of warm soapy water that I'm just going to put all my implements that I use in and out so it won't get sticky or gunked up. If I need to throw my stick blender over there, I will. So I've got the stick blender in here. I think I've got everything ready to go. So the point that I saw on the previous videos that I've been watching, I've been hitting up YouTube for this, is to add the lye solution slowly to prevent a volcano effect. So we'll just do this a little at a time. And I think if we go slowly, we're not going to have too much of a volcano, but if we do, that's why I have this really big pot so that there's plenty of room. If it decides it wants to do funny things, we've got room for it. So now, from what I've seen, we are at this kind of clumpy applesaucey stage, and it's going to go through some phases. We'll hit mashed potatoes. It could get really odd looking, and we're just going to keep stirring until it smooths out and gets a glossy look on top, and then I will add the glycerin and the fragrance. I just want to take the temperature. It's steaming. Let's see how much we've heated up. 168. So it's warming up in here. It's doing its cooking thing. I guess this would be technically like a high temperature hot process. I'm not sure. It's very similar to hot process. But we're just gonna use our arm strength here and stir, stir, stir. It's a workout. So the thing I'm looking for when I pause is to see if it separates at all. I want to make sure that this has full emulsification and I'm not getting some sort of false, trace, if you will, or a false start. So just stir and pause, and if it's holding together like it is, this went together pretty quick. It's already looking glossy. I'm going to go ahead and add my glycerin and stuff in there now because it's got that glossy sheen on top. Now you want to be careful adding the fragrance if you're using essential oils and the glycerin, because this is so thick. When you stir it, it can, you know, splash off. So stir very cautiously when you add that liquid in there. The sandalwood incense smells really nice. It's very subtle. I think it's wonderful. Okay, pull this over so you can see. I'll put my little sterilized cup up here, tear it out, and let's start dishing in. Well, that was awesome. I got them all at the mold. So the recipe that I did today, I got 10, and these are over 7 ounces each filled. I guess I must have calculated higher and forgot when I was doing it. So I'm just taking a clean, dry paper towel and cleaning up the lips on here. I don't mind if it's rustic on top, but I'm just tickled with these, and that went really well. I was pleasantly surprised I didn't have any volcanoing. Maybe it's because I was at a little bit cooler temperatures. It seemed to come together well. And I got a little extra that I just plopped. I scraped out the pan and plopped it in this mold, and I'll do a lather test on that in probably about a week. I'll let these sit. So these are going to not get unmolded. I'm going to let these sit for probably, because I did a full water volume in here. This has high water because you want a lot of play time. I'm going to let these cure for a full cure, probably four weeks. They are cooked. These are saponified by tomorrow. These will be fully saponified, so it's not raw soap, but with all the water volume, I want them to really dry out so they'll be good and long lasting. So I'm going to set these for a good full cure time before I get them marketed and get them out there. But this was really fun, and I will bring you back for a lather test in a couple of days. All right, it's been several days since we made the shaving soap, and I wanted to give you a lather test. This is the extra bits that I didn't fit in the molds and I scraped out of the bowl, and because I hate to waste anything, you know me. So I'm going to give this a lather test. Let me tell you, this fragrance, it's subtle. It's not overpowering. I don't think it will even scent the skin afterwards, but when you walk by, it's just really nice, a gentle sandalwood scent. I'm very happy with it. And I'm surprised it didn't really discolor the soap at all in this recipe. So anyway, let's give this a lather test. This is my husband's shaving brush. I do carry boar bristle shaving brushes in my shop. This is not one of the ones I carry, but so I'm going to get the brush wet, and now I'm going to get the soap wet and pretend like my hand is the cup. And we're just going to start, and immediately, look at that lather. I mean, immediately it's lathering up, and this is so creamy. Y'all, I am just tickled with this. I tell you what, I'm gonna have to revisit this. I mean, that's wonderful. So it's smooth, it's a very soft feeling lather. It's dense. It really is kind of like what comes out of a spray can, that sort of thick foam. So I am delighted with these. I hope you give the recipe a try. It's well worth it, I think. I'm definitely going to be revisiting this process. It was easy to do. I was shocked. I went into it with a little fear and trepidation, and I thought it was actually really fun and easy and a quick process. So I was very impressed with it. But I am loving the finished product. So I'm going to let my little cups sit on the rack for several more weeks before they go up in the shop. But yeah, I am loving it. I hope you give it a try. If you do, let me know if you try this recipe. And also, thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and the subscribe.